Hello, everybody. Omni here. I know there's been a lot of movie news coming out in the past week. We got a bunch of stuff coming out from the Joker movie. We got a new trailer for Bumblebee, a new trailer for Fantastic Beasts. We even got a new teaser trailer for Daredevil Season 3. Last night, we got a first trailer for X-Men's Dark Phoenix. I do intend to getting around to a lot of that other stuff that that I mentioned just a second ago. It's been a little too busy on my front to keep up with a lot of it. I finally have a little bit of time to make some of these videos. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Dark Phoenix, since that one just came out and that is what is fresh at the moment. And I'm going to go ahead, and we're not even going to waste any more time. We're just going to go ahead and pop this trailer up and check it out.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not.
I'm just looking forward to seeing my boy Quicksilver.
The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip.
See, what's interesting about this version of the story that they're telling now is that this stuff is happening a lot earlier than it did in the original timeline, it seems like.
I protected her.
From the truth?
Charles. You should know better.
There's another word for that.
Keeping secrets doesn't
I came looking
help
for
things pan out.
You
Alright,
feel like you don't belong here.
so she's going out.
You don't.
She goes to Magneto for help,
Can't
or
begin to
guidance.
comprehend
There's my boy.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission.
What?
She's all rage, pain, and it's all coming out at once.
Jean lost control, but she's still our friend.
Those classic suits. Oh.
The world is on the brink.
Charles, you make bad decisions. You start splitting up the team. You're losing that trust.
And there's always a speech, and nobody cares.
There's still hope. Don't do this.
You.
You're right to fear me.
We haven't seen Quicksilver again. If he's in that grave,
I'm looking at
I'm gone. Dude. Wait a second. Hold up. That is so close to being the X-Files logo. Like, if you just shrunk that corner and that corner, it would be the X-Files logo. I mean, they can rip off their own properties. Fox owns X-Files, so, well, Disney owns X-Files. Disney also owns X-Men now. So, who knows? So one of them dies, and we only see one shot of my homie Quicksilver there. And if they kill off Quicksilver, I'm going to be a little sad, pretty sad, because his scenes and all of his things have always been, to me and to a lot of people, like the most interesting thing that these movies have done so far. First Class stood on its own all by itself, and it was really good. Days of Futures Past was awesome as well. But no one can argue that those Quicksilver moments from that movie and Apocalypse were not the most insane parts of those movies and the most fun parts of those movies. Given in Apocalypse, it did not match the tone of the movie at all, but it was still so much fun to watch. I don't know. I love the classic suits. Like, that's one thing that this line of X-Men movies has done that I definitely enjoy, and that is they've accepted some of the cheesy corniness and just kind of owned it. And they're like, you know what? They wear those silly outfits. We'll give them the silly outfits. We don't care. The only problem I have with these series, this whole little series, it's its own new timeline, because they did reset everything, prevent a lot of those events from happening in Days of Futures Past. So now we have Mystique being the new leader of the X-Men. We got Cyclops maybe having a personality in this one. It looked like he was showing a little bit of emotion, so kudos. If you can get me to care about Cyclops at all, you did it. This is what, the 80s now, which is still a lot earlier for Jean to be triggering these Phoenix abilities, awakening the Phoenix, compared to the original timeline. And I wonder if they're going to like touch on that at all, as to why this is happening so much earlier. Maybe it was because Apocalypse showed up and kind of pushed her into accessing it, so now it's just expedited its takeover of her. But I want to know, like, what does Charles actually know about it, and why or what the secret was he was keeping from her in the first place. Did he know about the entity that was in her? Are they even going to spin it as this is a cosmic entity, or are they just going to spin this like it's just who Jean is? Because that's the thing you got to wonder or watch about these adaptations, is like getting your expectations into, like, is this going to be just like the comic, or is this going to have its own kind of liberties? But I don't know. The Phoenix itself, especially the Dark Phoenix, is one of the most powerful beings in the entirety of the Marvel comics. So I don't think they have anybody on their team right now that could beat her. Realistically, according the comic version in mind couldn't. But I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, I haven't had a real problem with any of these newer X-Men movies. They've been all pretty decent enough that I've been happy with most of them. Apocalypse was probably the weakest of all of them, given it had the best, like, Quicksilver scene. Days of Future Past, I think, was the best one. I really loved First Class, but Days of Future Past kind of like in-world reset the whole X-Men universe, so they can alter the timeline, alter these stories, alter these directions that it's going with any way they want at this point. So who cares? Let's just have fun with it. Now, what I want to know, or what I'm curious about, and I don't know if any of you all know, I haven't heard a whole lot of the state that this universe will play into now that Disney owns it. Because as I understand it, Paul Feige is going to be taking over the X-Men once and assimilating them into the MCU. But from what I understood about that was that they intend to reboot, have their own version of it. So I wonder if this will be the end of Fox's continuity, or if they plan on continuing that down the road and just abandoning it completely for the MCU versions of the X-Men. So I don't know. It's such a weird thing in media these days, in Hollywood and all that, is with Disney just buying up all these things and just these weird deals they've made, because you don't know where Spider-Man Tom Holland fits in with the Sony Spider-Verse that they're building with Venom, the Black Cat movie, the Into the Spider-Verse movie that they're doing, like where that ties in. And then you have this existing X-Men universe that DC has now acquired, and the state that will have going forward, because they did say they would continue Deadpool and not alter its essence or be true to what it is up to this point. So I'm holding them to that. I mean, I have no power, but I still, if they drop Deadpool down to anything less than an R rating, whoops. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of stuff just up in the ether for post Infinity War, for the end of Avengers 4, that is just really up in the air on what they intend to do going forward. So it can be really interesting, but they've got some high bars to hop over this time around. If after Avengers 4, unless this resolution to the snap is just horribly dissatisfying, which I'm very hopeful that it won't be, because they've been so on point about keeping this story going and fresh that I have absolute faith that they'll knock it out of the park. And then I'm really excited to see how they handled all these new characters they acquired from Fox, Deadpool, the XMen, Fantastic Four. Maybe we'll get a good Fantastic Four movie, because at least one thing we know about the MCU is they at least get the essence of these characters down and correct. So maybe we can get a non-moody, garbage-toned version of them that doesn't suck. Who knows? I'm hopeful, but this trailer looks good. They said this would be a more personal story, more character-driven than the past one, so I'm excited to see how that evolves, and seeing if they can give a little more emotional depth to these characters that were introduced one movie ago, and go from there. Anyway, that's been my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you all think. If there's anything I missed, anything I got wrong, please let me know. I'm always ready and willing to learn, and I accept when I'm wrong. But thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. I'll be having a couple more of these coming out, and you can check out all the other ones on the channel now if you feel free, and I'll catch you all next time.